The sky was quiet, but not for long. In Gaza, silence doesn't last. It breaks, suddenly, like glass. One moment, children are sleeping. The next, the world is on fire. This is not just news, not just numbers. This is a story of real people. A nurse, a father, a little girl with dreams too big for war. They live where bombs fall, where hope hides, but somehow never disappears. You are about to hear their voices, their pain, their courage, and their hope that one day the guns will stop. Chapter 1. The night sky turned red. It was late. The streets were quiet. Children were sleeping, some in beds, some on the floor. A soft wind touched the curtains. Mothers whispered goodnight. Fathers looked out the window, wondering. Then, boom! The sky turned red. The sound was like the world breaking. Windows exploded, walls cracked, people screamed. It was a hospital, an airstrike. In 1 second, everything changed. Lena, a young nurse, was on the night shift. She was walking down the hallway when the bomb hit. "I thought it was thunder," she says, "but then I saw the fire." Smoke filled the air. The lights went out. The building shook. And then, silence. For a moment, she could hear nothing, just her heart, beating fast. Then came the voices, crying, screaming, "Help! Where's my son? Please, someone!" Lena moved through the dust, her hands shaking. She found a boy, blood on his leg. "It's okay," she told him. "You're safe now. I've got you." But she wasn't sure if it was true. Outside, families were running, barefoot, some with children in their arms. Fire lit the sky. Ash fell like snow. A father stood still. His name was Omar. He was covered in dust. "I was just talking to my wife," he said. "Just 5 minutes ago." He looked down at his hands. They were empty. "She was inside," he whispered. "I don't know where she is." Some people ran to the hospital for help, but there was no hospital anymore. Only broken walls and broken hearts. Lena stayed. She didn't run. Even when the roof began to fall, she stayed. "I couldn't leave them," she said. "I couldn't leave my patients." Somewhere under the rubble, a child cried. A girl, maybe 5 or 6. Lena heard her. She tried to follow the sound, but the smoke was thick. The air was hot. Her eyes were burning. "I'm here!" Lena shouted. "I'm coming!" But the voice grew quiet, and then gone. Pause. Just silence. The kind that fills your chest and doesn't leave. People say time stops in moments like this. But in Gaza, time doesn't stop. It breaks. People don't get a chance to cry. They have to move, to run, to survive. In the morning, the hospital was a skeleton. A building without a face. Ambulances came, volunteers too, but it was too late for many. Some names were written down, some were never found. Lena sat on a piece of stone, blood on her shoes, dust in her hair. She looked around. "I did what I could," she said. Then she whispered, "But it wasn't enough." A small boy came to her. He was shaking, holding something. It was a toy car, broken in two. "My brother gave me this," he said. "He's gone." Lena held the boy close. She didn't speak. There were no words, just the sound of one heart trying to comfort another. As the sun rose, the sky was quiet. Too quiet. But in that silence, a thought, a hope. Maybe, one day, this sky will be blue again. Maybe the only sound will be laughter. Maybe peace will come. Not today, but maybe one day. Chapter 2. I was just holding her hand. His name is Omar. He's a father. He stands in the middle of broken stone, glass, and silence. Dust moves in the wind. The sky is gray. Smoke still rises from what was once a home. Omar's eyes are red. His hands shake, and in his fingers, a pink shoe. Small, worn. His daughter's. She was only 6, he says. His voice is quiet, but strong. She loved strawberries and the color yellow. He takes a breath. I was just holding her hand. It was evening when it happened. They were walking home from a visit to her grandmother, just the two of them. The streets were dark, but calm. She liked to count the stars, Omar says, looking up. She always said, "Look, Baba, that one is mine." And then, boom. A building nearby exploded. Fire filled the street. Everything shook. The sound. Endless. I remember the light first, he says. Red, then orange, then nothing. He pauses, swallows, looks down. I held her hand until I couldn't. He searched for her, in the dust, the fire, the noise. He called her name again and again. Amina! Amina! But there was no answer, only the sound of sirens, screams, and the wind. He found her 1 hour later, under a piece of concrete. She looked like she was sleeping, he whispers. Like she was dreaming about the stars. Omar sits on the ground now, his clothes torn, his voice soft. He tells her story not with anger, but with love. She was always laughing, he says. She used to run through the house like a bird, singing songs I didn't even know. People walk past him. Some stop, some cry, others don't speak. What can they say? In his pocket, a paper, a drawing, stick figures, a sun, a small house with a heart on the door. She made this last week, he says. She said it was our house, me, you, and Mama. He holds it like gold, like it might fly away if he doesn't. I don't want revenge, Omar says. I don't want more bombs. He looks straight at the camera, or maybe the listener. I just want one thing, he says. I want peace, so no other father has to let go of his daughter's hand. There's a pause, a long one. The sound of the wind returns. Then, a bird. One small song. Software. Clear. Hope? Maybe. At the end of the street, children walk by. Barefoot, holding empty water bottles. One of them sees Omar. Stops. She picks up a flower, the only one in the rubble, and gives it to him. No words, just a look. Omar smiles. Just a little. She would have liked that, he says. Then, he lets go of the shoe. It falls gently to the ground. The war took his daughter, but it could not take his love, or his voice, or his dream, that no one else will have to say, I was just holding her hand. Chapter 3. Aya's Hiding Place. Her name is Aya. She's 9 years old. She has big brown eyes and a voice like a whisper. I don't like the dark, she says. Her voice comes from a small room. The walls are cracked. One window is broken. There's no glass, just wind. Aya sits on a thin mat, her knees to her chest, a small teddy bear in her arms. I used to sleep in my own bed, she says softly. Now I sleep here, with Mama. Outside, bombs fall. Not close, but close enough to feel. Each one makes the floor jump. Aya closes her eyes when she hears them. I count to 10, she says. Sometimes it helps. She hasn't been to school in 3 weeks. She misses her teacher, her books, her blue backpack with a picture of a cat. I like math, she says, smiling for a moment. I want to be a teacher when I grow up. Then her smile fades. I don't know when that will be. The room is cold. Her little brother is sleeping beside her. She puts a blanket over him. Slowly, gently. I try not to cry in front of him, she says. I want him to feel brave. Aya draws pictures in the dust on the floor. Sometimes a house, sometimes a sun, sometimes just a heart. I draw to remember things, she says, like what happy feels like. The power is gone. No lights, no music. But Aya sings, very quietly, a song her grandmother taught her. Sleep, little bird, the night will pass. The sun will rise, and peace will last. She stops singing, looks at the door. A loud sound outside, She holds her breath. Then, silence again. Just the wind, just the dark. I used to play outside, she says. With my friends. We had a skipping rope. I was good at skipping. Her fingers move slowly over the teddy bear's ear. I miss them, my friends. I don't know where they are now. Sometimes she dreams. Not bad dreams, good ones. In my dream, we're in class. My teacher writes my name on the board. Aya. She smiles. I sit near the window. The sun is warm on my face. She closes her eyes. I don't want to wake up when I dream like that. She opens a small box beside her. Inside, dash. One pencil. A pink hair clip. And a note. It says, "Be strong, my love. We will play again." It's her mother's handwriting. Aya reads it again and again. It helps, she says, when it gets too loud outside. She stands, walks to the broken window, looks out. Fires burn far away. No cars, no voices, just shadows. But then, a cat, a little black cat, walking along the wall. Aya smiles. See, not everything is afraid. She turns back to the room, sits beside her brother, and pulls the blanket higher. I don't know when the war will end, she says, but I know I want to see my school again. I want to laugh with my friends. I want to be a teacher. I want to wear my cat backpack. A pause, a deep breath. And not be afraid. Aya's hiding place is small, cold, but her voice, her dreams, are bigger than the war. Chapter 4. The Nurse Who Stayed. Her name is Lena. She is 28 years old. She is a nurse, and she stayed even when the roof began to fall. I couldn't leave them, she says. Her voice is calm, but tired. We were in the emergency room. I was helping a boy with burns on his arms. Then I heard the sound, like thunder, but closer. The building shook. The lights flickered. Then, darkness, smoke, dust, screams. People ran. Lena did not. I looked at the boy. He was crying. He didn't ask me to stay, but I couldn't go. She helped him sit, covered his wounds, held his hand. The room was shaking again. Part of the ceiling came down. I thought I would die there, she says, but I told myself, not yet. The hospital had more than 100 people that night. Mothers, babies, old men, some injured, some just scared. Some would not make it. There was a woman, Lena says. She was alone. Her leg was broken. She was bleeding. I sat beside her. The woman reached for Lena's hand. She didn't say anything, just held on, tight. Lena stayed, hour after hour, helping, listening, praying. I lost a baby that night, she says. Her voice breaks. He was only a few days old. I really tried, but there was no power, no machines, just my hands and hope. She pauses, takes a breath, then keeps going. At some point, it all became quiet, too quiet. I thought maybe I had lost my hearing, but no, everything else was gone. Walls, beds, doors, even the sound of footsteps. A flashlight appeared. A rescue worker. He called to her. "Anyone here?" Lena called back. "I'm here. We're here." They helped her out, step by step, her hands shaking. There was blood on her clothes, not hers, ash in her hair, tears on her face. But she walked. Outside, people were waiting, some crying, some silent. Lena saw a boy sitting on the ground, the one with burns. He looked up, smiled. "You stayed," he said. She nodded. "I stayed." Now, Lena sleeps in a shelter. She still wears her uniform, even if it's torn. She helps where she can. Bandages, medicine, a kind word. "I'm not a hero," she says. "I'm just doing my job." But her job is more than wounds and medicine. It's staying when others run. It's holding hands. It's whispering, "You're not alone." Sometimes, late at night, she remembers that woman, the one who held her hand. "She didn't let go until the end," Lena says, "and I didn't either." The hospital is gone now. But Lena's courage is not. She is still here, still standing, still staying. Because when everything falls, someone must stay. Chapter 5. That's the name of this chapter. Because sometimes there are no words, no title, no answer, no reason, just silence. You've heard the bombs, you've heard the cries, you've heard the voices, Omar, Aya, Lena. You've walked with them, sat beside them, listened. But now, we pause. The air is still. There is no music here, no talking, no rushing. Only a breath. One long, deep breath. Sometimes, silence is louder than noise. It speaks, it shouts, it weeps, without saying anything. Close your eyes for a moment. Can you hear it? Not the sound of war, but the space after it. The space where people wait, wonder, hope. In Gaza, silence can mean many things. It can mean fear. It can mean pain. It can mean goodbye. But it can also mean something else. A prayer, a wish, a memory held tight inside a quiet heart. A child stops crying. A father sits with his head in his hands. A nurse closes her eyes for just 1 minute. In that silence, they're not alone. They are together. Sometimes silence is all we have. When nothing makes sense. When the world forgets. When the fire burns everything but the soul. But silence is not empty. It holds names, faces, stories. The baby Lena couldn't save. The shoe Omar still carries in his dreams. The song Aya whispers when the bombs fall. These moments are not forgotten. Even if the world moves on, even if the headlines change, even if the cameras turn away. So we stop, right here, not to forget, but to remember, not to turn away, but to look deeper, not to move on, but to feel, because grief needs a space, a pause, a breath. This is that breath. And in that breath, there is power. The power of love, of memory, of peace not yet here, but still possible. So we don't speak now, not because we are afraid, but because we are listening to the silence, to what it carries. And when we speak again, we will speak with more heart, more truth, more care. Chapter 6. Where do they go now? Where do they go? Now? No home, no bed, no roof to sleep under. Just bags, plastic bags, full of clothes, bread, medicine, if they have any, and questions. So many questions. Where can we stay? Will it be safe there? How long will we be gone? Will we ever come back? On the road, there are families, mothers carrying babies, fathers holding children by the hand, grandparents walking slowly, one step at a time. The sun is hot. The dust burns their eyes. Still, they walk. Some go to schools, not to study, to sleep. Classrooms are now full of blankets. Desks are pushed to the side. Children lie on cold floors. Others go to friends, to cousins, to strangers who open their doors. There are not enough beds, not enough food, but people share what they have. One cup of tea, one piece of bread, and sometimes a story. Then there are the ones with nowhere to go. They sleep under trees, near walls, by the sea. At night, the wind is cold, and the sky is full of noise. They close their eyes and hope the noise doesn't come closer. 10-year-old Sammy sleeps beside his mother. He uses a jacket for a pillow. "I miss my bed," he says. It smelled like soap. Now he smells smoke, but he holds a toy car. Still, even here. "It's the only thing I saved," he says. "It was under the couch." A girl gives her little sister water from a bottle cap. "Only a little," she says gently. "We have to save it." Their mother looks away. Her eyes are full. But she doesn't cry. She can't. She has to stay strong. Some people laugh. Yes, even here. It sounds strange, doesn't it? But laughter still lives. It hides in small jokes, in silly songs, in memories of better days. One man tells a group, "When this ends, I'll open a bakery." They all smile. "What will you call it?" someone asks. He laughs. "Survivor's bread." Hope is hard to carry, but they carry it anyway, like their bags, like their children, like their pain. At night, they watch the stars. No electricity, no screens, just the sky. And one voice says, "Maybe my Father is watching from heaven." The group goes quiet. Then a soft reply, "I think he is." They don't have much, but they have each other. And that means everything. So, where do they go now? They go forward, step by step, with empty hands and full hearts, with broken homes and unbroken spirit. They don't know where the road ends, but they walk it anyway. Because hope is still alive, even when they have nothing. Chapter 7. The world is watching. Or is it? The world is watching. Or at least, it says it is. Cameras point at the smoke. Journalists speak into microphones. Live news, breaking news, headlines. Bombing in Gaza. Dozens dead. Children under rubble. People listen. They watch. They shake their heads. And then, they change the channel. In Gaza, the sky is still red. But on TV, a sports match begins. A new movie plays. A politician gives a speech about something else. Some countries speak. We are concerned. We call for peace. Others stay quiet. No comment. No action. No words. And some send help. Food, water, blankets. But others send weapons. More rockets, more bombs, more fear. Lena, the nurse, watches the news on a small phone. The screen flickers. They talk about us like we're numbers, she says, but we are not numbers. We are people. A child, Aya, listens too. She doesn't understand every word, but she understands the faces. No one looks like her. No one says her name. Omar, the father, asks, "Where is the help? Where is the world?" He walks past another destroyed building. They sent cameras, he says. But did they send care? On social media, people post pictures, flags, hashtags. Some cry, some argue. But then the posts stop. The trend changes. The world moves on. But Gaza doesn't move on. The families are still there, still walking, still waiting, still alive. One boy says, "Maybe if we were rich, they would care." Another replies, "Maybe if we had oil." They laugh, but not with joy. In one country, a protest fills the streets. People carry signs. They chant, "Stop the war." In another country, police block the road. "No protests here," they say. A reporter asks a world leader, Will you help Gaza? The leader looks down, smiles, says, "It's complicated," then walks away, back in Gaza. It is not complicated. It is simple. They are cold. They are hungry. They are scared. And they are tired of waiting. Still, they hope. Hope that someone is watching. Really watching. Not just for one night, but for every day, every child, every voice, because silence can be dangerous. It can make people feel invisible, like their pain doesn't matter, like their lives don't count. But Gaza matters. The people matter. Their dreams matter. Their stories are not over, even if the world looks away. So the question remains, is the world watching? Truly watching? Or just looking for a moment, then turning away? The answer is still not clear. But in Gaza, they're still here, and they're still waiting. Chapter 8. One day, the guns will stop. Aya is sitting on the floor, the same small room, the same broken window. But today, she is drawing. A picture lies in front of her. She made it with a pencil and pieces of colored chalk. In the picture, Aya is holding hands with two people. One is her father. The other, Lena, the nurse. Behind them is not a bombed building. It's a playground with swings and trees and a big yellow sun. She looks at it, smiles, and says, "One day the guns will stop." Her voice is soft, but strong, like she believes it, with her whole heart. "I want to build a playground right there," she says, pointing out the window. "Where the hospital used to be." She starts describing it. There will be a slide, a tall one, and flowers, and a bench for Mama. She draws a little cat in the corner. "That's for my backpack," she giggles. Then her face grows quiet again. She holds the drawing close. "It's not real now," she says, "but maybe one day." Omar, her father, walks in. He has dust on his clothes, tired eyes, but when he sees Aya's picture, he smiles. "You're the best artist I know," he says. Aya grins. "Do you think we'll really build it, Baba?" He kneels beside her. "Yes," he says, "we will." Later, Lena visits. She brings a bag of medicine, some food, and a chocolate bar just for Aya. "You're still drawing?" Lena asks. Aya nods. "I drew you too." She shows her the picture. Lena puts her hand on her heart. "This is beautiful." Then she looks out the window at the broken street and whispers, "One day, this will all change." They sit together, the nurse, the child, the father, in a quiet room where dreams are still alive. Outside, the wind moves. There is no bombing tonight. Just silence. A soft silence. Not full of fear, but full of waiting. And hope. Aya looks up. I will be a teacher. I will teach the alphabet, and I will teach peace. She says it like it's already true, like the future is close, like it's in her hands. Omar touches her hair gently. You will, my love. You will teach many things. Lena adds, and I will help open a clinic beside your school. No more broken walls, only healing. Aya nods. Promise? Promise, Lena says. They sit in a circle. No roof, no power, no answers. But there is something greater in that room, something stronger than fear. Hope. Aya holds her picture again. She lifts it toward the window, letting the soft light touch the paper. One day, the guns will stop, she says again. But we won't stop. The world outside is broken. But inside Aya's heart, there is color. There is laughter. There is peace. Not yet, but soon. And maybe that's how the story ends. Not with silence, not with war, but with the voice of a child and a dream that refuses to die.